I'm John Webb. Here's today's state news update. Idaho's wine industry won't have to store extra wine in neighboring states under proposed legislation that headed to the governor's desk Wednesday. The Senate voted 32-3 to approve the measure. The state's wine industry says would save it tens of thousands of dollars. The measure has already cleared the House. Idaho has some 60 wineries. Idaho law doesn't allow extra wine they produce. They don't have room for it to be stored in Idaho. The legislation would allow the use of third-party bonded warehouses in Idaho that could store the wine. Backers say it would save Idaho wineries money while also creating new business in Idaho. Legislation requiring voters to choose a political party 3 months before a presidential primary headed to the Senate Wednesday. The House voted 66-3 to approve the measure that would change current law that allows voters to switch parties right up to the day of the presidential primary. Democrats allowed Democrats and unaffiliated voters to participate in their presidential primary. Republicans only allow Republicans to take part. The new legislation, if it becomes law, won't take effect until this summer. Whistleblower lawsuits against Idaho would be limited to $370,000 in non-economic damages under proposed legislation introduced Wednesday. The House Judiciary Rules and Administration Committee voted to clear the way for a hearing on the measure brought forward by Republican Representative Greg Cheney. There would be no limit for economic damages, which includes such things as loss of income and legal fees. Non-economic damages include such things as pain and suffering and emotional distress. The measure follows a federal whistleblower lawsuit that Idaho settled out of court in 2019 for $545,000. In that case, a former Idaho Department of Labor purchasing agent said the department retaliated against him and fired him for his efforts to stop employees from skirting purchasing rules. The legislation would prohibit juries from being told about the cap. The legislation would also prevent punitive damages against a governmental entity or its employees. Punitive damages are a punishment intended to deter similar behavior in the future. For this State News Update, I'm John Webb.